Now that you've seen how to create jobs in the MeasureColor Image module, let's take a look at how to analyze the results. In this case, I'm going to open a measure job for the MediaNova carton I showed how to set up. And when I come into the job, the first screen I see is a picture of the image that I measured and the coordinates that I was directed to inspect. In this case, each crosshair has a caution sign with a measured delta E, which we call a localized delta E, indicating our difference to the color target at these positions. In this case, I see I have all of my points that are currently out of spec, and if I wish to look at one, all I need to do is simply click on it. So in this case, I've clicked on location 5, and as I see here, I'm just outside the acceptable range, but ChromaTrack is guiding me on how to correct this ink to get in spec. So if I see an increase in density can move me over here and look down at the bottom, my optimal predicted result at a density of 132 on the cyan filter can yield me a delta E of 2.31, which is in my tolerance of 2.5. As I look below, I can see an example of what the reference color was supposed to look like, what my currently printed sample is on the right, and if you see the rectangle in the middle, this is my ChromaTrack predicted optimal result. As you can see, it blends very well with the reference, so we would have a good visual match if we make this density adjustment. As you see in the upper right of the data table, we continue to have our reference LAB, CH, and density values, as well as the sample values and the computed deltas between each one of them. As we look below in the visual section, we can see the sample being described as too light, too dull, too red, and too yellow, altogether coming to a 4.98 delta E on a tolerance of 2.5. Now as I go back to my overview, I can look at other points for inspection. In this case, my orange has a bigger problem. I see what will happen as I increase density to it, but it's always outside the ellipse, meaning this is one that I probably require help from my ink technician to fix. Simply adding density will not bring me in spec within my tolerance of 2.5, so I'll need to work on correcting this color. From the back on the home screen on the overview, I can page through my other results. So I see on my next measurement set, my measurements were very good, the corrections were very effective, and I have good delta E measurement. I can either continue paging through my measurements here, or if I wish, I can look at the trends view. Here I'm going to compare densities on top to delta E's on the bottom. Here I see the course of the job at the top, and how well I maintained consistency over the course of this run. Additionally, inside Image, we have the other capabilities of using the gamut screen, dot gain screen if screen patches were supplied, seeing the raw list of all the measurements collected, looking at the spot screen if we wish to measure other places inside the artwork, and again the trends view at the end.